I didn't want to have anyone go through the same thing that I had gone through.
Loved ones murdered, their killers sit in prison or on death row.
The death penalty is such a violation of my Christian faith and values.
Tonight, the debate ramps up again as the battle begins to repeal the death penalty.
I'm not going to be the one to tell those parents that they can't have the justice that they want.
Plus, she's a cancer survivor. Why she says the new push to raise the smoking age may be too little, too late.
It is our entire family that has to pay for the consequences of that.
And why one state lawmaker says nobody should be allowed to buy puppies or kittens at a pet store anymore.
The use of capital punishment here in Colorado could soon be coming to an end. State lawmakers may introduce a bill this week to repeal the death penalty.
And Denver7's Gary Brode explains why families of murder victims are pushing for this repeal, while others are fighting to keep the law in place.
The ACLU calls the death penalty expensive, ineffective, and an unjust process. Today, they released a 60-page report outlining their reasons to get rid of capital punishment. And based on recent public backing, they may get their wish.
3 women
murder.
The Denver DA's office has created a position for an investigator, and that person's sole job is to make sure domestic violence offenders turn in their weapons. And now, despite a push to get more cities to do the same, the Boulder District DA's office says they just can't justify creating a position like that one. That's according to the Boulder Daily Camera. The Boulder DA's office says they just don't have enough cases to hire someone dedicated to tracking down offenders and their weapons. In the meanwhile, Boulder County DA Michael Doherty is asking victims to let police know about offenders having weapons. He's hoping legislation at the state level to close a loophole in a 2013 law will help them out.
And come November, there's a possibility you'll be deciding on whether tobacco and vape products should be taxed at an even higher rate. And the money would be used to fund free preschool for 4-year-olds. Late last week, the group behind the effort filed more than a dozen different versions of their proposal to the state's Office of Legislative Counsel. They will review the version before handing something over to the Secretary of State's office.
The results we got back were pretty astounding.
It is no longer technology of the future. Facial recognition is already being tested and used across the country.
Anyone can be a candidate for a false positive.
Tonight, one organization puts the technology to the test. Why they say it's a bigger threat than you think.
Temperatures slowly but surely warming up here across the Front Range into the 40s today, but how hot will it get on the 7-day forecast? I'll let you know.
And what will NASA call its new Mars rover? Why some Colorado kids could have the final say.
Denver7 now on your streaming device. A group is trying to ban facial recognition here to talk about our weather. It's so crazy. It's so dry here and crazy in the mountains.
Right? And so much snow has fallen in the last 3 days, but we have finally tapered that off. So we're at the tail end of that, but there is more snow on the way. I'll tell you exactly when. Tonight.
Favorite streaming device and start watching now.
Welcome to Denver7 Sports. I'm Nick Rothschild. We start tonight with the reason I'm working tonight, the College Football National Championship game. You see, Lionel is such a raving LSU fan, he needed me to cover his shift so that he could focus on the action. Let's see if it was going to go a little bit deeper. The Red Sox are the next team.
Yeah, I know,
Holy
boy.
cow.
Yeah.
Big
Learned
stuff.
a lesson.
All right, Nick, thank you, and we'll be right back.
Denver7 Sports is sponsored by the Lodge Casino, Colorado's first choice for fun.
All right, State, so golf in the morning and then hit the slopes in the afternoon.
Absolutely. Temperatures will be in the 50s here for the time being, all the way into the end of the week. The winds will kick up Thursday and Friday as a storm system comes into Colorado, and that means more snow for the high country. Temperatures in the 50s here for the Front Range. Will be in the 40s and 50s over the weekend, but a pretty quiet forecast here over the next 7 days.
So you can do everything, including work. I guess you have to fit that in somewhere. Sorry.
Thanks for joining us.
Good night.
Join us.